NFL Network's top 100 list, voted on by the players. They have Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Aaron Donald, and then Patrick Mahomes, with Michael Thomas rounding out the top 5. And if you think Patrick Mahomes didn't notice, think again. He's taken notes. He's taken names. He's very much aware of what these rankings had to say. Here's my football crew for this morning. Let's bring them in here. There they are, guys. Marcus Spears, Mike Tannenbaum, Dan Graziano is here. And before we allow the guys to react, Dan, just explain as best you can exactly what is this list? Like who, for the fans who woke up this morning and they're thinking, how do they put this together? How did they put this together?
Yeah, I mean, this is a list that they do every year that the players vote on, and they have, they send the ballots around, they ask them to vote, and it's, it's their peers. I mean, we've talked about, the respect of your peers and whether an award that comes from your peers means more, that kind of thing. I mean, this is what sort of you get, and I don't know. I mean, this is weird. I'm looking at it, and honestly, Greeny, they do this every year. I've never paid it any attention until 3 hours ago when you told me you were going to ask me about it on TV. And it's, it's just another list. It's a ranking. It's an off-season ranking. It's the players. But my first reaction, honestly, was this is an example of, as someone who has been a voter for awards and Hall of Fame and et cetera for years as a member of the media, when you hear, well, why don't the players vote instead of the media? This is kind of the reason why.
Love it. I love that take. Now, Marcus Spears, I've been waiting all morning. From the moment my alarm went off this morning, I've been waiting for your reaction to this. What did you think of Patrick Mahomes being named the 4th best player in the NFL?
Well, it was dumb. That was what I thought. But the second thing I thought was, I don't want to say that and take away from what Lamar Jackson did this year. Obviously, there's a hard argument for Lamar Jackson to be the best player, particularly this year in the NFL, based on what he did. But we all know damn well Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the NFL. Number one, number one, number one. Number one again, G. If you put it in number one money, number one wins, Super Bowl MVP, number one car in the NFL, he is number one team on it. He just bought the Kansas City Royals. For that alone, he should be the best player in the NFL. Just the things that even happen off the field. So we having this conversation about the NFL top 100. And let me go back to this. I'm going to defend my boy Dan Orlovsky for a second, which is rare, which I won't be doing a lot on NFL Live. But here's the thing. This list became null and void when Carson Wentz wasn't on it, because there is no list that you can compile of the top 100 players based on last year and not have Carson Wentz on it. And the fact that you don't have Patrick Mahomes. Listen, we've been wasting our damn time, G. That's what's been happening. Everybody in the world know. In the world, I'm not talking about just America where people watch football. We just watched the KBO game before Get Up came on.
Yeah. The
KBO players know Patrick Mahomes the best player in the NFL. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to give it up to Mike T because I'm done talking about it.
He was voted number one in that league, but not in the NFL. It's an excellent point. Again, Mike Tannenbaum, what do you think?
Hard to talk about. I'll make 2 additional points. That's why a lot of former players aren't good general managers, because they cannot evaluate. Patrick Mahomes isn't even 25. He's turning 25 in a couple of weeks. And how about this statistic? 33 points a game per start for Kansas City, all-time highest points per game. So clearly the best. Draw a line. Love Lamar Jackson, but it's Patrick Mahomes and then everybody else.
Yeah, this is the only, again, is this a big deal? Obviously, it isn't a big deal. But and this is not to take anything away from Lamar Jackson, who had one of the greatest seasons ever, and Russell Wilson, who was a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer. But the only one I could even see, if you wanted to make an argument for it, would be Donald, Marcus, and I would come to you for your expertise on this. Because it feels to me like the distance between Aaron Donald and whoever is the next best player at his position might be greater than the distance between Mahomes and Lamar, or Mahomes and Russell, or whoever else you wanted to put behind him. Aaron Donald might just be so dominant at his position that you could justify putting him number one. That's the one that I would have had a little easier time understanding. Is that a reasonable representation, Marcus, that Donald is just so much better than anyone else playing his position that you could see him going number one?
Yeah, G, for sure. Like that is something that our eyes have told us. Just like we having this conversation about Patrick Mahomes right now, and what our eyes have told us. Aaron Donald is as dominant a defensive player as we've ever seen. Not just against his peers in the NFL. You got Fletcher Cox, you got Chris Jones, who just got a contract from Kansas City, 2 D tackles, well respected, really good at their position. But they ain't Aaron Donald. So to your point, yes, there is a degree of separation that Aaron Donald has from everybody else on defense at his position in particular that you can make a hard argument he's one of the best players, if not the best player defensively, but also one of the best players in the league in general.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.